And welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to Waffleboard Breaks. Our season is over. Carolina Hurricanes, who I felt was the best team I watched all year long, ended up closing it out with a pretty stifling defense after going down 2-1, losing the was it overtime game, I guess, and then and then won the Vegas won the overtime game after Carolina had come back to go down 2-1, but then they turned on the defense, stifling Vegas over the last couple games to win the Stanley Cup. Congratulations, Carolina Hurricanes. Congratulations, Vegas Golden Knights gave a valiant battle. Obviously, they won more games than anybody in 3 series, one against Carolina. So, got to give the hats off to them. I mean, they were the best team I saw all year long. They had almost no flaws. That second line was absolutely devastating all throughout the playoffs. Couple games they disappeared, but Hall, Stankoven, and Jackson Blake were absolutely amazing. That's what they said. They scored 17-7. They outscored the other teams they played at even strength, which is absurd. And I have a line go plus 10 goals and even strength is amazing. Obviously, they don't play as much of the power play. Carolina's power play started to disappear. I mean, obviously, one game late when I think that game 4 when they tied it up, you had the 2 goals from Svechnikov on the power play, and Aha had a goal in that game. So they represented themselves well. They weren't as dominant across the entire playoffs as that second line, but you gotta give them credit. Gotta give them the credit. So, yes. Where's you? Greg, you got. Well, this disappeared. I saw you got the Freddie Anderson. So, Greg, you're in with Freddie Anderson tonight. I think that's the only spot you had. I believe every spot got claimed. I appreciate you guys grabbing the unsolds. The chat. They said I didn't see who grabbed it from the chat, but when I reposted. A bunch of you guys claimed. I know Brett City claimed stuff earlier, so I gave him credit for those. I saw his payment. So 8, yes, correct. 8 for Freddie. Freddie, of course, was Boosie played the last games, won the cup with the shutout in game 6. But Freddie, of course, went 13-2 in the playoffs. So he said he was the first person to get the cup from. Jordan Stahl, which is pretty cool. Obviously, Taylor Hall and Freddie Anderson in their mid-30s were first-time Cup winners. Of course, Taylor Hall, first overall draft pick and former Hart Trophy winner with the Devils. Obviously, first overall draft pick of the Oil. He was fading away with the Blackhawks. Not getting dressed some games and. I think he was in Boston for a little while, but he started to see his career go away. Carolina, of course, saw that he was a perfect fit. His style, his energy, his experience, and they dropped him in with the Stankoven, Jackson Blake, and they were absolutely amazing. When you have a second line that scores like that line did, your first line can slack off a little bit. That first line, I mean, obviously the first line with Aho and Svechnikov, I mean, you got top-notch NHL scores. Svechnikov, number two overall pick behind Rasmus Dahlin, and Aho, obviously a top 10 pick with Carolina. Has been one of their best scorers for many years now. They just need those little intangibles to get them over the hump. You bring in a veteran goalie like, Freddie. Obviously he was drafted originally by Carolina, and then of course he didn't sign, and then he drafted next year by Anaheim. And he played for them for a while. And then he ended up with Toronto a little bit, and that's the jersey that's in the boxes. And then he ended up with Carolina. Of course, they had 3 goalies. Obviously, Boosie was not really on the radar. He was a rookie this year, and he had an amazing start to his career, but with no experience. And Kochetkov, obviously, we've seen him come out of other products as well. He was in the East Coast boxes. I think we've seen him come out of Hit Parade as well. So, Carolina kind of had 3 goalies that they're confident in. Obviously, with obviously the Freddie wasn't as dominant during the regular season, but of course, and he got hot off the start, sweeping Ottawa, sweeping the Flyers, losing game one to Montreal, and then winning 4 straight. So you're 12-1 going into the finals. And then, of course, he went. He obviously did his last game. He was 1-1, and then he was down at the game when he was replaced by Boosie, and they came from behind, and then Vegas won in overtime to take the 2-1 lead. And Boosie got the loss for that in overtime on the Shea Theodore goal off the backboards. But then Boosie, of course, they rallied around him, squared it away, won game 5, and of course, game 6 with the shutout. So Carolina earned themselves the Stanley Cup. They were as good as any team in the league this year. Obviously, they could score, and obviously they showed off they could defend. Jacob Slavin capped off an amazing year with the gold medal with Team USA, and he was a rock on the blue line. He was really, you saw the value of him in the last couple games. The way he played, that kind of took the heart out of the Vegas team. They just couldn't get any breath. Obviously, the games are still close. Down 2-0. Eichel last game hits the crossbar. Maybe it's a different game. He hit a crossbar, I think, the game before as well. So that close. We're talking inches sometimes to get back into a series. Eichel still had an amazing year this year. He has a cup with Vegas, number 2 overall pick behind McDavid, and he's obviously been to as many finals as McDavid now, but having won one, and the puck was on his stick. He had Boosie kind of down and out, and that goal, maybe it's a different game if he's able to bang that home. And of course, it goes off the crossbar, and they were close. They got some close chances. Boosie, I don't think really stood on his head, but the defense was so suffocating they didn't get as many good clean shots. And then obviously, Marner didn't have great as game as he did when he had the hat trick in second period. They kind of stifled him a bit. The passes just weren't there. They weren't getting loose for the breakaways as much. They did have a couple. They didn't bury them. And, if you're not going to bury your chances, obviously you're going to keep a team like Carolina in it, and you're going to get the goals. And then you saw the tenacity of the Hall, Stankoven, Blake line, 2 goals, the first 2 goals in that game. And then, of course, the empty netter by Ehlers. And then, of course, the shutout to win it. So it was exciting to see that happen. I didn't watch the celebration until afterwards. I refuse to watch Bettman on live TV. Can't stand him, never have, never will. I hate to see him handing off the Stanley Cup. I hate to see his face, hate to see him speak. But, he's been the commissioner for a billion years at this point in time. So you got to do what you got to do. I had to suffer a couple times when the Bolts won, but I usually turn it off. And I miss some of the celebrations after the Cup. If I was more invested, I probably would have stuck around. I knew, of course, he was going to give it to Jordan Staal. Jordan Staal, I guess, was deserving of the Conn Smythe. He did score 6 goals in the finals, 5 goals in the first 5 games, including 2 in game 5. And then, of course, he didn't score in game 6. But as the captain, he was an absolute monster in the faceoff. Of course, he won, with the Penguins as a 20-year-old, and 16, 17 years later, he wins again, which is a pretty amazing story in itself. Like I said, the veterans deserved the cups. Like I said, Taylor Hall and Freddie Anderson, of course, and then the young players, earning their cups as well. The stars for that team that couldn't quite get over the hump. So it was exciting. Like I said, I'm wasn't rooting for or against either of the teams. I just want to see good hockey, and we got crazy hockey for the first 4 games, and then Carolina kind of put their foot down and said, we're going to take control of this. And it looked more like everybody expected, I think, the last 2 games. Carolina kind of asserted their defense and, got some timely goals. And that's what it takes. Like I said, Carter Hart set the record for having given up 4 goals in the first 5 games. He didn't give up 4 goals in game 6, the clinching goal. He played great. I think he had some absolute nice saves, and when your team doesn't score, you're not going to win. So he'll be the goalie for them going forward. Obviously, Aiden Hill is a capable backup they have in Vegas. That they're. I mean, he was there when they won the cup, so he's going to stick around. And it looks like Carter Hart will be probably the starter going forward. Vegas not going anywhere. Obviously, they were down this year before they made the coaching change, but you can see how talented that team is. They're always kind of tweaking things, bringing in new young players, and they got some. I mean, Brett Howden played out of his mind in the playoffs. Shea Theodore was fantastic. Mark Stone proved how good and veteran and talented he is as the captain of the team. They're a pretty good team. Like I said, Vegas probably could beat anybody in the league except maybe this Carolina team. Like I said, Carolina, I didn't think for life of me, I didn't think Tampa had any chance of beating them. And like I said, if Tampa had beaten Montreal, they would have to beat Buffalo to even get to Carolina. So it was a pretty long road to hoe if Tampa was going to make a run. Though they went to 7 games, and game 7 against Montreal, so they easily could have been in the second round with a little puck luck, and you just get ready for next year. I said Tampa, I'm happy they won the coach of the year this year. Coop's first, Vezina for Vasi his second, and Hart for Cooch his second. So that's pretty amazing. It's going to be a tough all season because I think they're going to lose Radish. I don't think there's any way under the cap system that Tampa could keep Radish. So he's probably going to get a big contract elsewhere. I'm not saying he's going to fail, but he's had an absolutely amazing season, getting big minutes, filling in when they lost a lot of their defense. Guys went down like the Hedman and McDonough and and Chernak and he actually and Moser. I mean, he actually stepped in and he obviously when Cooch puts on a platter for you, if you can bring it with some heat and put it on net, you're going to score goals. So, I mean, he had an absolutely amazing season in his year 30 season. And like I said, I mean, I don't know if he's that kind of player going forward, but, we'll see where he lands. If he's going to land in a similar situation, I'm sure a team that signs him wants him to be their power play trigger man. So, I mean, he could end up, like I said, he ends up in Toronto. He's going to be in a similar situation, Pittsburgh, if they want to. I don't know where he's going to end up. I'm not sure yet who the shooters are, but I'm not sure Tampa's going to have a room. Obviously, Cooch has another year before his free agency's up. They probably should settle that down if they want to sign him long term to keep him as a Bolt the rest of his career. But I don't think he's not fading yet. But it's still pretty good money if you sign Cooch long term. But there's guys getting ready for some big contracts. Obviously, McCarr's going to get a big dollar contract. There's some big contracts coming. Connor Bedard, Cale Makar, 2 guys that are going to get huge deals very soon. So we'll see what it is. But like I said, 2 boxes tonight. First boxes since the reload. I hope you guys tuned in for the boxing up video. I had to do it upstairs because our basement is in the middle of being demolished and rebuilt. We got cuts in the walls and we got no carpet down here, but like I said, I set it back up. So, and our break nook down here is still ready to roll. I said we got the power still, we got the internet, we got the boxes, but everything's boxed up. Like I said, the stuff's been boxed up for about 24 hours now, and then shuffled up, and then numbered them up, and I have absolutely no idea where anything is. So we'll see what comes out tonight. We got 38 boxes, 13 new ones. We do have a built-in double box, which is 48 and 59. That will continue to be built-in double box. So if we hit 48, we will also open 59. And if we hit 59, we'll also open 48. And that's in addition to whatever other box we're opening. So that doesn't take place of a second box. That's a built-in double. So no matter what, if you have one of those 2 spots, you have a 50% chance of any other spot hitting because you have 2 of the 38 boxes are represented by those two players. So, like I said, we got 1 single box run, 2 double box runs. Only 1 double box right now is 48 and 59. Then we have 2 3 box runs, a 4 box run, 10 from the last reload. So we've only hit 3 of those so far, and 13 new boxes. And I hope you guys enjoy these. Like I said, there's 6 completely brand new players to the Waffleboard Break boxes. The Shea Theodore, Dakota Joshua, Jordan Bainton with the Stanley Cup patch. That's a pretty cool Fanatics Blues jersey. Scotty Bowman, one of the greatest legendary coaches of all time, on a Hockey Hall of Fame CCM rep jersey. Glenn Anderson, Hall of Famer, 6 Stanley Cups, I believe, 5 with Edmonton, 1 with the Rangers. And, of course, Guy Lafleur, one of the highest scoring players in NHL history, on a beautiful red Coho Montreal Canadiens. So it's a pretty fun reload. I can't wait to see. Maybe we'll have 1 or 2 of those come out tonight. I'd be more than happy to have that happen. But then, of course, we got some monsters still to come. 10 from the 13 from the last reload, including that warm-up worn Chandler Stevenson Adidas 2018 military jersey, which is, like I said, this is the first ever warm-up worn jersey we've had in the boxes, and this is boxes 666 and 667, and we've had 20-something double boxes, so we've had about 690 jerseys almost, and that's the first ever warm-up worn jersey we've been able to box up, so can't wait to see that come out. Obviously, Chandler Stevenson won 2 cups. He won 1, coincidentally, with the Vegas, and he won 1 with the Caps, and when he started there, and that's what the Caps jersey is. So good luck to that. Let me see. We see some great old stuff still to hit. I cannot wait to see what comes out. So let me see if anybody else wants to stop by. I think we're pretty good. Everybody else can kind of watch it at their leisure. I know we don't usually do Monday night breaks. I didn't get a chance to watch Big Al stuff. I have to watch the replay, see what came out of these East Coast boxes. Daryl had a couple boxes open up tonight. And he had a Dan Beesbrook come out, and I don't remember who the other one was. Daryl here. I can't remember exactly what the other jersey was, but Dan Beesbrook came out. Oh, and it was the other one was Bruin, Milan Lucic. That was his 2 boxes. So he has boxes coming up, listing again soon, probably tomorrow. I'm not sure when his listing will go up, but I don't think it'll be today. So it's tomorrow, the next day. But yeah, so he's reloading stuff. I know he has some East Coast boxes as well. He opened up for his own product, and he'll get them in there at some point in time. So if you're not breaking here, get over to Big Al's, get over to Nick's on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I'll try to stop by there tomorrow. During his break, been doing 3 per night over at Whatnot. So anybody that does Whatnot, stop by and check out Nick F's stuff. And of course, Daryl does a couple per week. He's been in and out though, so I'm not sure what his schedule is going to be going forward. So Big Al has his new East Coast stuff here already. He did a hit parade box last week, and he hit a Cure for Cancer, the Hockey Fights Cancer jersey. I think it was the Carolina. I think that was pretty cool. So that came out. That came out last week for him. He doesn't usually get those, but sometimes in between East Coast series, he grabs hip race stuff. So I'm looking possibly to pick up some of them as well. We'll see what the schedule looks like. I know I'm going to be away. I'm going to be down in the House of Mouse the last week of June. So my schedule for the next couple of weeks is going to be a little strange. I think we're doing 1 this week, just on Wednesday, and then double on Sunday. And I think next week we might do 2. We might do Tuesday and Thursday, back to that, because I'm going to be away. So we may not be doing another double box until I list it when I'm gone. So I'll figure out the dates. Obviously, I can't be breaking when I'm not here, and I'm not going to post it on a Tuesday to end on Sunday if I'm not going to be back. I'm going to be away that Sunday, so that'll be the Sunday I leave. And then, of course, I'll list one when I'm away to start on the Tuesday, and then end probably July 4th, maybe it was 5th. I have to look at the calendar, so we'll figure it out when we get there. But I just have to look at the dates before I settle it. I do have to enter in the spots tonight, of course, to start tomorrow to end next Sunday. So we're definitely doing a double box Sunday. And of course, we're going to do a box on Wednesday, and I'll be doing the spot price preview up as soon as I get done tonight. So I got a lot of work before I decide to take a nap tonight. It's obviously tons of stuff to do. But so let's get going. Let's get our 2 boxes. Congratulations again to Carolina. Let's get our 2 boxes tonight. The first 2 boxes of the off season, 38 boxes, lots of good fun stuff. Like I said, there's 14 people in tonight. Thank you, everybody, for being involved. We got Greg K, Shirley, Mike A, Brett G, Nick F., Thomas M., Anthony Thomas M., welcome back from the hospital. Anthony C's got a spot. James M.'s got a couple. Justin W. grabbed a couple unsolds. Ryan S., one of our Sunday regulars as well. No Ron today, though. Jake G's got some spots. Daryl L., Jason M. has got a spot. CK's got a couple. And Big Al's got a spot, one from the unsold. So good luck, everybody. Pretty good crowd. I think 14 different people, including the guys that grabbed the unsolds. Thank you much, everybody, for filling up. Let's do it. Okay, let's get my randomizer up and my dice. Here's my dice. There it is. Okay, very good. Okay, I've added all the numbers. They are all here. Of course, we do 5 or more on our dice roll, and then we're going to pick our first box, and then we're going to back that box out, and we're going to do 5 or more for our second box. All the way to 44, the new ones, only the box 33 was loaded back in. Unless we hit that, the only number that skipped is 43. So we still have 47, 48, 59. So those 3 will be skipped in the next reload, but the only box in this reload that was skipped is 43. So we go from 31 all the way to 43, or 44 rather. 43 was skipped. Of course, we have all the boxes from the 20s. We've hit 3 of those. Of course, all the way back up to our oldest box is 17. There's 48 and 59. They're paired up. That's our built-in double box. So good luck, everybody. 5 or more in our dice roll. Let's see what we got. And it is 6 times the list. 6 times for our first box. Let's go, everybody. Let me get my list ready. Okay, boom. Let's do it. 6 times for the box number 1. Okay, 1 time. 38 boxes. 2 times. 3 times. 4. 5. And the first box we're going to open tonight is going to be box number 16. 16. 16's in the middle run. There it is. 6 times. Box 16. 6 times. Box 16. Look at that. Okay, there we go. Let's back that out. There we go. Box 16. There we go. Okay. Let's do it. 5 or more for our second box. Here we go. It is 8 times the second box. So good luck, everybody. 8 times. Let's do it. 1. 37 boxes. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6, 7, and the second box tonight is going to be box number 34. 34 is from the reload. 8 times, box 34. 8 times, box 34. There we go. Just like that. We hardly knew ye. Let's get that out too. I'll get us ready for Wednesday nights. We're down now to 12 new boxes. Just like that. Okay. Very good. Anybody here want to make some guesses? Let's see what you got. Box 16, box 34. Box 16, of course, is the box in the middle row. Okay, very good. Box 34. Box 34. Three stacks of 4 left. 12 left from the reload. Okay. Box 16 is our first box. Box 34 is our second box. Good luck. Good luck. Any guesses? Any guesses? Box 16. Woo. Ooh, cannot wait to see this one. It's going to be fun. Some good stuff in this run. Box 16. Let's do it. Without further ado, where's my winners? Let me see what I got. Let me see. Okay. Okay. Very good. Here we go. Box 16. How you like me now? Here we go. Good luck, everybody. Box 16. A day late, not $1 short. One of my favorites is one I submit myself. This is Ray Whitney, San Jose Sharks on the starter jersey. Absolutely beautiful. San Jose Sharks. Ray Whitney, number 14. JSA COA. That was submitted by myself. I got this while I saw this Whitney jersey. Had to have it. Knew it needed to be COA. And I got that done. JSA COA. Speaking of which, I have a half dozen jerseys going out to them this week for the next reload. Look at this. So, Sharks starter jersey. You don't see them anywhere. Secondary market, 14 Sharks logos on the sleeves. Look at this. Ray Whitney, San Jose Sharks. Look at that. Starter, Western Conference tag on the bottom. Ray Whitney, San Jose Sharks. Old school starter jerseys. Back when multiple different companies. Obviously, we've seen the Cohos, we've seen Nikes, we've seen CCMs, of course. Starter had a stretch when they got into the athletic apparel market, and they were rocking the San Jose Sharks. Ray Whitney, very, very nice. Love seeing that. He had some nice stints. Obviously, the Shark moved around a little bit. Red Wings, gorgeous Ray Whitney. Let's see who we got for that one. Ray Whitney going to Thomas M. Woo! Stay hot, Thomas M. Congratulations. That's back-to-back. Thomas M. says, oh, now he's out of the hospital and he's still staying hot. Congratulations, Thomas M. on the Whitney. I know you're chasing that for a little bit, but there was other spots you were chasing. I was surprised you didn't have, but congratulations on the Whitney. There it is, going to a good home. Congratulations. Yeah, you hit the Danico. Speaking of which, I was not able to mail out anything on Saturday. Like I said, I had issues with the internet. Wasn't able to get the stuff, labels printed up and dropped off to the UPS and post office. And I'll be doing that. Hopefully, if I'm not able to box these up, well, I have Wednesdays, and I'll box it up and then I'll drop it off this Saturday with no problem. So, congratulations. I'll be able to pack that with your Danico. So, congratulations to Thomas M. on the Whitney. Like I said, hits make you feel a little bit better. So, I'm glad you're getting out of the hospital after your little stint there. Hopefully, you're feeling a little bit better. But box 34, box number 2, one of the brand new ones. Could be anything. Like I said, 1 in 13 chance here, guys, if you have a new spot. I have zero idea what's in any of these new boxes. Like I said, I'm pretty good at shuffling them up, and I have no idea. So let me look what we got here. Let me see. So Thomas M's going for a turkey, and he actually has a spot. So 1 in 13 chance of him able to have a turkey. Of course, James M. is the first person to ever have 4 in a row. We've had a half dozen turkeys, I believe, over the years. But, yeah, he's in position to have a turkey himself. So we'll see. Good luck. Like I said, 13 new jerseys. Everybody's in play. We have some good spots. We got a couple people with 2 and 3 spots. So here we go. Good luck, everybody. Box 34. Let's see what we got. Box 34 is... oh, it's a Fanatics And there it is. Seattle Kraken. Philip Grubauer. Obviously, he's the starting goalie for the Kraken. He should be next year and back to being had a good end of the year. Obviously, faltered for a little bit. Fanatics. There it is. Reverse Retro 2.0. Philip Grubauer. Seattle Kraken. There it is. The big red eye on the S. Seattle Kraken. They said we had him in a while back, and obviously I wasn't pursuing him, but obviously watching him play towards the end of the season, I'm like, he's their goalie. They got him signed there. Be their goalie. Obviously, Seattle hopefully can get themselves ready to make a deep playoff run, get into the playoffs at least. Seattle Kraken, Philip Grubauer, and Ray Whitney. Look at the colors on those jerseys. We got the San Jose teal and the Seattle Kraken, kind of like a seafoam blue and green. Congratulations. Who got the Grubauer tonight? Philip Grubauer going to CK. Big hit. Congratulations, CK. Very, very nice. Sorry for everybody that did not hit tonight. Philip Grubauer going to CK. Ray Whitney going to Thomas M. So, Thomas M., no turkey for you. CK stepped in to be a turkey stopper. But congratulations, both you guys. Sorry, of course, for everybody that did not hit, even though it took an extra day to get to this point. Well, like I said, we're doing Wednesday only this week. Next week will be Tuesday and Thursday, I believe. But Wednesday only this week. I will work on the spot price preview and get it up shortly. And, of course, these spots will go live Tuesday to end next Sunday. So, there we go. Congratulations, Thomas M. Congratulations, CK. Two gorgeous hits. Gorgeous jerseys. So, Fanatics COA on the Grubauer. That's a Fanatics on the Wraps jersey. That's the way they bag them up. Anybody that bought on the Wraps jerseys, they bag up them in those bags, and they put them in the boxes they put them in are so heavy. They weigh like 3 times as much as my boxes. They're like heavy, like professional, glossy cardboard. But they come in the bags, which is kind of cool. So Philip Grubauer, Fanatics, Reverse Retro 2.0, real nice starting goalie for the Kraken, and Ray Whitney, San Jose Sharks starter, man. Absolutely, I couldn't wait that come out because I absolutely love that jersey. So congratulations on that one. I'll get those ready to ship out for you guys, and I'll look forward to seeing you guys back here Wednesday night. Just an extra day break, and obviously no games. So right now we're in baseball. Baseball is full time, but basketball is over. Congratulations to the New York Knickerbockers. First championship since '73. Everybody's loving that in New York. I think Thursday's their parade. And congratulations to the Carolina Hurricanes. Second championship in that franchise's history. Of course, Rod Labad was on the team the first time, and he is the coach the second time, which hasn't happened many times as well. So some serious history coming on with those two championships. Celebrations for all week long, basically. And then we'll be back here Wednesday night for the Facebook claim, 8 p.m. Look forward to seeing you guys. And, of course, next Sunday when the spots go up, like I said, we're at 36 boxes now. We'll be at 35 and 34 for next Sunday. So thank you much, everybody, for bearing with me for the extra day. I will see where we break in Wednesday and Sunday. I'm not sure we're going to finalize the basement with carpeting and walls. But as of right now I'm set up down here. And until I have to adjust, I hope to be back down here Wednesday and then Sunday. So thank you much, everybody. Enjoy your next day and be back here Wednesday night. Waffleboard Breaks is out. Take care, guys.